Hello producers, how's it going today? In this video, I want to go over why lowering your standards can actually be beneficial in some cases and why comparison can be a bad thing for many producers. So typically, when you're comparing yourself or when you have high standards, it kind of distorts your own creativity. It kind of stifles you and puts you in a box. And it's just a common tendency among producers to want to achieve a certain standard that they have in their mind for what's good enough. And I believe that an idea doesn't define you as a producer. It doesn't define your skill level, but what does is your ability to make an idea sound good. And we've all heard songs where the melody doesn't necessarily make theoretical sense in terms of music theory, or just certain genres where there's no musicality, but it has a catchiness to it. That's a skilled producer behind it, making an idea sound good. So kind of think of it this way. Your favorite producer has a lot of songs, and you may really love that producer, but there's absolutely going to be some songs that you didn't like. In your mind, just because that person released those songs doesn't make them a bad producer. Everybody has a different taste in a way, and you understand that there's going to be times where you're not going to resonate with certain things. But for some reason, as like creators and artists, I think that we all always want to have, always want to put out ideas that resonate perfectly with our own tastes. And sometimes we don't realize that a certain song is good. So, and as well, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, for me, like when I was learning certain chord styles and R&B styles, or when I'm listening to house chords, I'll be making a chord progression that technically works, and then to me it won't sound good. But after putting a lot of production effort into it and not giving up and saying it's not good enough right off the bat, like I would have done in the past. I don't know why I said it like that. Like I would have done in the past. Instead of doing that, I kind of push through that and have a little bit more faith into my own skills, and it'll end up working with the other elements. And even when I'm watching like videos for R&B chord progressions, like it won't sound very good. There's like some dissonance, which means there's like tension in the notes and in the chords, so it doesn't sound right. But when they start adding the other elements, you hear that it's kind of intentional. They make it sound like it's okay. They're good with it. It's really chill. They're adding different things, and everything kind of meshes together and blends together. So in a way, that kind of fits in with what I'm saying as well. Your idea doesn't have to be, there's no such thing as a good or bad starting idea. It's how you end that really matters. So hopefully that makes sense. So again, I just wanted to, the point of this video is to kind of prevent you guys from having to deal with that writer's block where you guys are just starting over because every little thing that you guys start on doesn't sound good enough to continue on. So the main reason why comparison and having too high of standards is bad is that it's not an objective way of looking at your song. So for example, if somebody were to send you a song and they wanted feedback, maybe in their mind they are feeling insecure about it, or they don't like it because as a producer they have a certain inspiration that they look up to, or a certain level of standards that they're trying to compare themselves to, maybe to somebody that they look up to, and so they might not like it. But meanwhile, when you're listening to it, the mix may not be perfect, You may be thinking that you would have used a different kick sample or whatever. Some things may not be perfect, but you're able to appreciate the idea for what it is, and you see the positives. So another thing with comparison is that you don't see the positives anymore. You're just looking at what's wrong with it and how it's not good enough to be shared. So really the point of all of this is that no matter what your standards are for a song and whether or not you've even hit those standards, your idea can still be appreciated. And I know a lot of us have projects that may be done, but they're not bangers, they're not hits to you, or they don't sound good to you. But I'm here to tell you that you can still put them out and be able to get some sort of positive reaction. Some people are going to resonate with it regardless. And it's the same thing, like for example, with my beat making videos. Maybe I'm not pleased with it, or I'm trying to make a certain style and it doesn't sound exactly like that person. So sometimes I may not even want to put it out completely, or I may be close to not putting it out. And then when I do, I get an enormous positive reaction out of it, because even with the title saying making a beat like so-and-so, people aren't as attached to those kind of standards as your own self, because we care deeply about our own work. So it kind of shows you that you don't have to always abide by those standards. Kind of give yourself some slack and just have faith and put stuff out, have faith in your own abilities. And as you get better, your following will watch you grow, and you'll grow your following, attain new fans. And then you can go back and take stuff out that aren't at the standards that you have at a new time. So anyways, I'm not saying to not be inspired. There's a difference between comparing yourself and being inspired. Being inspired is like when you hear an idea or you hear a certain style and you are wanting to do something off of that style. You want to create something from that, and that's fine. But what's wrong is when you have your own ideas and maybe it's going into an unfamiliar direction, and you start to feel insecure about it, and either you never end up putting it out, or you're spending too much time trying to go back and delete stuff and modify things to make it more conventional. So that's messing up your creativity. Inspiration can take the form of wanting to learn a certain type of theory. Maybe you like the way R&B chords sound. Maybe you would want to look up that kind of stuff, but you're starting off with something that's inspiring you. You're not having an idea and being insecure about it. So that's kind of the difference. Same thing with mixing. Maybe you like a certain way that a producer mixes. Maybe you look at his process and try to find out what you can do, what kind of techniques you can use as you're building something to make a mix sound like that person's. But when it becomes the type of problem where you're making a mix and then you feel insecure because it doesn't sound like that person, and so you're changing all the elements and trying to go back in time and trying to delete stuff that you put weeks ago, then that becomes a problem, because even mixing is a creative process. And I'm kind of going on a rant right now, but you can have an excellent mix, or you can have an excellent idea. You can have an excellent piece of art, but it's going to shine differently than another person's piece of art, and it's going to resonate with different people. So maybe it doesn't resonate with yourself, but know that your ideas have value. And again, with the example that I gave before, when you listen to somebody else's song, you're not comparing their idea with your standards. So you're able to appreciate it for what it is. So why don't you go ahead and apply that kind of knowledge to yourself and have faith in your own stuff. I don't know if that video is made too much like chronological sense, but hopefully that helps. And really, in conclusion, it's okay to be inspired. It's okay to have standards, but let yourself slip under sometimes. Let certain things slide so that you can put them out, because a lot of us always just get stuck because we're trying to get to that next level. The way that you get to the next level is by being okay with where you're at and rising as you're putting new stuff out. And in conclusion, instead of trying to sort out ideas, make ideas sound good. Try to focus on using what you have, making the most out of what it is, and then putting it out and share more of your stuff. So hopefully that helps. I don't know if this is going to be a podcast or what I'm going to call this, but that's kind of just something that's been on my mind. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Banana